Hello, we're back. Welcome back. We can't hear them. We cannot hear them. Hang on. I'll fix this. It's just me. Hello.
The ginger whinger.
Oh,
Copper knob.
I'm very
Can we hear them now?
Oh,
Can we hear ourselves
ginger
now?
whinger.
I can't
Let's
hear
call
them.
him
Why
names.
can't I hear them? You can hear them. I can't hear them.
They can
One
hear
moment,
us.
guys. Sorry about
We can
this.
hear ourselves.
God, he
Technical
can't
difficulties
get the
screen.
bloody staff.
Hello.
Thanks, Bong.
But
Hey.
Yeah, let's call him ginger whinger. Let's
It's all gone wrong.
let's.
Let's not Ange.
Right.
It's the red stripes in my hair.
yeah, so just call it off and we'll be back in 2
He's a
weeks.
genetic mutant.
Compared to the other kinds of mutants.
Uh,
Monday mutants.
Yeah. The new mutants.
The morning mutants.
Yeah, we don't talk about them, they're weird.
Hi.
The minuscule mutants.
I wish I was.
he hates us.
Oh, I get to see all your names now. Dr. Linderman. Danny Fox. Is he a friend of the fantastic Mr. Fox?
He's the
No,
less
he's not
fantastic
actually, he's
one.
just a fox.
Boris?
Yeah.
He's your
Andrew, do you need us to cover for you anymore? Or are you ready to
your
go?
childhood imaginary friend.
Andy,
Yeah.
can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just sorry, but sorry, guys. You may be hearing a bit of feedback from my mic on stream. If you can, let me know. I am sorting it.
Okay, we need to cover for Andy. Right, guys, let's go.
Yeah, you get going. I'll sort it out.
The calendar.
Angelo,
Introducing the
quickly
adventures of
over.
Bob and Mr.
What-
Fox.
Welcome to this evening's stream. It is organised, as you can see, to the highest professional level that we get to every time we stream, and we haven't had technical difficulties, which is, that's how it normally goes.
Are we having one right now?
Okay, so tonight we're playing Mutants and Mastermind, which is a special. Shut up! I'm speaking now.
She doesn't know.
Which is a special edition, which is Croy on his own, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's going to work.
Tomorrow we are doing a questions and answers session, I think at 8 PM. That still has to be confirmed, but we will be around. I have an echo, do I?
I have an echo, do I?
Do I?
Do I?
I got 2 echoes. One
I've got
upstairs
2
and one
echoes.
downstairs.
One upstairs and one down.
Alright, so yeah. Next week, on Monday, we have Dungeons and Dragons, the offline session. And on Tuesday, I think we've got Vampire the Masquerade, which is done by IMT. Session 0. Next Friday, we have Blades in the Dark, followed by the double whammy Super Saturday Dungeons and Dragons. Followed by Monday, the 19th of April, Angie and Angie are going to go cruising. We're going cruising. And then we're supposed to be having on Tuesday the 20th of April a Cthulhu game, but I'm not quite sure if we're having Cthulhu or we're having those Dark Places or we're having Spire, or he was playing a completely different game today, Red something. So who knows what we're going to be playing that day. Are we ready to go yet, Andy? Or no, look at that face. That face is still a face of confusion and upset.
I mean, that's normal, right?
Okay, then we will fall into Cthulhu on Friday, April the 23rd, followed by Mutants and Masterminds, and then back onto D&D offline. And we do have on. I forgot. I did send it to Andy. I don't think he's put it on. We have Vampire the Masquerade, the Victorian era on 19th, 18th of April. One of those days. Sunday afternoon one. And, yeah, he didn't get the one I sent him. And Keen will be streaming that off his channel. So we can zip over to there and go and say hello. And don't forget, he's got an amazing channel. Charity, which we all need to donate to. So everyone nip over there, and that's Sunday. So yeah, so that's where we're at the moment, and hopefully Andy is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Sorry.
Or not.
No, I am ready. Sorry. The static and that notch has gone as much as I can. I do apologise. If it persists, I will do what I can to manage it, as I do everything else. Welcome. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you're okay. Hope you're having a better time than my computer seems to be having at the moment. Yeah, hope you're all having fun. Welcome back. This is Mutants and Masterminds. If you haven't already caught up on Mutants and Masterminds, I recommend you go and do so. I do need to make an apology that I have not done any work on the YouTube this week, which is why nobody's seen a single video go out. I will be doing a lot of work on it over this weekend. We will get the videos back up to schedule, and I do apologise for that. Yay! I am sorry. We will get that sorted. But yeah, do go check out our YouTube. I wish I would be. Go check out our YouTube for when those videos go live. And do jump in our Discord. Just general chit chat to the guys about what's going on and see what is coming up. But yeah, otherwise, I think you've done our notices, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, without further ado, we will start the game. For most of you, just so chat is aware as well, all of you, apart from one, are playing brand spanking new NPCs for today's show. The only mutant that is actually playing their character is Croy. It's not intentional. It is a special episode, and so yeah, I'll get that one out of the way now, so no one's asking. You've not missed anything. They are just playing new characters, just for this special episode, which is all featured specifically for Gem. It's going to be. It could be interesting. There may or may not be a driving roll check early on, so we'll see.
Not on the M4, it'll be fine.
So, without further ado, let us get started. As soon as my little notepad opens up with all the information I needed. I'm so professional, guys. I do apologise. There we go.
I'm Gem.
You are Gem. Just waiting for Word to load up.
You know, they use Microsoft at my work, and it's pretty bad as well. I don't understand quite how they've managed to survive as long as they have.
Yep.
It's amazing.
That's why it gives us a chance to let one of the cats out. The one cat that stayed in.
That's fine. Gem.
Because it's a cat stream.
No, it's not. Right.
It is.
We're getting on. Technical issues are out the window now. Gem. It is Thursday the 14th of March. It's early in the morning. What are you doing on a Thursday early morning?
I was out partying last night because it was the last day of my work. I only do 3 days if I have to. And when I finished working in the city, well, you know how it is. We make a lot of money, we work hard, and we play hard, and we party hard. I've got a bit of a hangover. Not too bad, but enough. just to make me feel a bit like I could do with a can of Iron Brew. But I'm in London, and it's very difficult to get hold of. The recipe isn't the same as it was before anyway, so black coffee will do. I'll head out to the local coffee shop that's just round the corner.
Yep. It's just going past 8 o'clock. When your phone rings,
I need to change my ringtone. I don't recognise the number.
you do not. It is withheld.
Probably bloody telesales. Hello.
Gem, it's me, Alex, the handler.
Yeah.
I need to rendezvous with you. I've got a job that needs completing today, and I need your assistance. It's a tricky one. I'm not going to lie to you.
Alright. Well, it's my day off, I suppose. I can assist. I need to get a coffee. Where can I meet you?
Meet me in the town square Cinématique in about an hour's time. 9 o'clock sharp. Yes.
Yep. Not a problem. That'll be absolutely fine.
Very good. See you there.
Yep. Alright. Catch you later. Oh, I really need a coffee and maybe a packet of salt and vinegar crisps. Ugh.
And nothing else eventful happens unless you go and do something really drastic in the hour. Otherwise, are you going to head to the Cinématique to meet up with your handler?
Yeah, bacon roll. Steak bake from Greg's on the way past. Packet of salt and vinegar crisps. Black coffee. I'm sorted. Right as rain.
And when you get to the Cinématique area, it's pretty open area. It's not too busy. It's still early in the morning. And you see Alex sat on a bench reading a newspaper.
Anyone be reading that shite? It's filled with lies and slander. Anyway, how's it going?
Not bad. Yes, it's filled with lies, but it's also... Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to find.
I suppose. Keep your enemies close, eh?
Yeah. I'm sorry about this. I know we probably could have done with you going with your friends today. They're doing an important mission for us regarding a court case. I'm not sure if you've heard about it today, but it may be a big win for us if we can pull it off, and we may be able to start taking down Kinetics once and for all.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Who's driving?
I'm not sure on the technical locations, but all they're going to do is go to one of the manor houses and pick up the witness, an old Kinetics employee, and take him to the courthouse. What could possibly go wrong?
Inconspicuous and weeping widow's hearse, eh?
Yes. But needs must, and we don't exactly have a fleet of vehicles on standby for emergencies or anything.
Yeah, well, all power to them. I'm sure they can handle a simple pickup job. Like you say, what could possibly go wrong?
Yes. In the meantime, I've got a mission for both of us today, if you are willing to help us out. The power cut that went down the other week. Managed to get some very important intel, and it may be worthwhile to help a fellow mutant friend of yours.
Oh, mine?
Yes. Tom, the boy I believe you dropped a bathtub on his head?
He was on fire. It seemed appropriate.
Yes, well, he has a brother who's currently in a Kinetics facility, and we've managed to locate him with the intel that we gathered from the blackout.
Very good.
Simple extract and... well, enter and extract mission, I should say. But obviously this is Kinetics. It's not exactly going to be a walk in the park, I don't think.
I'll look around and watch a jogger as she runs past. Or a run, perhaps. I'm sure. Could we not have got Redline? She'd have been in and out in no time.
Unfortunately, Redline's gone AWOL at the moment, and we're not sure of her location. But the problem is the facility may be, well, it's kinetics, basically. We believe they may have a way to detect mutants by now. I mean, they have collars to prevent our powers, so we don't know the level that they're at, and we have to assume the worst case scenario.
So you're suggesting that I use my particular skills to get in and out relatively quickly? Kinetics. Prime location, nonetheless.
You've got half of it. Unfortunately, it's more of just getting out. You see, the moment you get in, if they have what we believe they have, you won't be able to get out.
Now, I'm all for a bit of excitement, you know me. But being stuck inside a kinetics establishment sounds a bit like prison.
Well, yes. But we do have a plan. We can get you in without using your powers, and hopefully you should then be able to get out. It's a gamble, we're not going to lie. But if you can't get out, we will just simply walk out when the time's appropriate. Our friend Avocat, I'm sure you remember him.
Mm-hmm.
He's managed to acquire us, me and you, a job at one of their facilities, the facility that we're going to go, and has hopefully relieve one mutant.
Who is it that we're going this great length to risk life and limb for?
Tom's brother.
Aye. We've heard a bit about him. Tom was worried, and rightly so. But Tom said that this guy was indoctrinated. He was turned. Why are we extracting him if he's accepted his fate as one of Kinetic's stooges?
Because of what Tom has told us. We know what his power is, and we need to make sure that Kinetics do not have their hands on a mutant with that power.
Well, it clearly doesn't involve busting in and out of Kinetics buildings. What can you do?
But quite simply, he can replicate any other mutant power he's in the vicinity of.
Oh. Well, that is versatile.
Very. And obviously it's a bit of a worry if Kinetics are able to manipulate him or his power in any way. It probably wouldn't be a good stance for us.
They're able to extract or replicate anything that he can do, then we would have our own powers used against us. That
Very
does
much so.
not even the scales in our favour. I can understand why you are so concerned. Listen, it doesn't sound ideal. It could get messy. But I understand where you're coming from. It's definitely something that I can help with. When do we... Have you got a vehicle? And I look around.
Roll perception.
Okay. Not terrible.
You look around, you don't see any obvious transportation or anything near you. Alex turns to you and says, well, if you agree, you are the transportation.
Okay.
There is one slight thing that I should probably tell you now and warn you about. We believe that Kinetics may have a detection facility to actually register powers, so you're going to have to wear this. And he holds up a bracelet.
Right. Are we walking into this establishment, or
Yes.
are we going to bathtub-in?
No, we are going to bathtub near to the location where I have already left a transport vehicle for us. We're going to drive up, park up, and walk in and sign in as the new employees of the facility.
All right. That sounds particularly exciting. Let's do it. Where do you want us to be?
Again, I just need to warn you about this bracelet. If you don't recognize it, it is a modified version of the collars that you acquired from the warehouse. Once you've placed this on, it will neutralize your powers.
Aye, and because I've put it on, I can take it off again, right?
Correct. When the extraction time comes available, you simply take the bracelet off, teleport out, and before they even have chance to lock down the facility, we're gone. Slight side effect of the device, though, is that you will probably feel quite hungover whilst wearing it. It tends to mess with the neurons in your brain.
Should have brought an extra steak bake.
Yes. Unfortunately, our time is of the essence. We are due to sign in 20 minutes.
Oh. Better not be late for our first day at work.
Very good.
You got our costumes in the van, I assume?
Yes, I have got a more adequate change of clothing for our jobs. We are going in as scientists, so a few nice lab coats will do us good.
I wouldn't normally be seen dead in a science lab coat. I'd look like a right knob. But, aye, alright, let's do it.
Very good. Right. Can I give you the location? Are you able to teleport us there on that?
Yep, I can do that. I know that place. That's not far. Have you ever done this before?
I mean, probably not the way you're going to do it. I have been carried by a few mutants who can fly and that, but I don't think I've ever teleported.
Just prepare to walk a little bit. It won't take long. Time moves differently. And I grab. I say, "Are you ready?" And I just put my hand on his shoulder.
Let's go.
I look around just to make sure there's nobody watching.
Oh, let me just take care of that. And he whips his phone out, dials a few sequences, and all of a sudden the area around you, the power goes out.
Okay.
Right, that should do us. Be quick, we only have a few seconds.
Yep, and I picture the place that he's marked on the map. I know it. I've gone running past it. And we're in the vicinity, quite close to the van. But when we travel, we're actually moving.
Yep.
And although it happens relatively quickly, it takes a bit getting used to, I guess, to travel like that. So I don't know what this guy looks like on the other side.
Yeah, travel is a lot easier in this plane. You know, you almost feel encouraged to move in this plane. But yeah, you can see he seems like a bit harsh on his legs for a few moments, but he quickly seems to get the grips of what's going on here. And he's able to essentially keep up with you.
And that's it. Yeah, and then we're back in the location. Yep. You did that well. Well done. You're a natural.
Working with mutants has its perks, I suppose. And you're at the back of the building, and there's a black SUV there. He pops the boot. There's a change of clothes, shirt and tie sort of thing, and a big lab coat. You both get changed, you get in the vehicle, and it's only a 5-minute drive from where the car was parked. And you pull up to this facility. It's right next to a power station. It's off the beaten track. It's kind of out of place, but there's no traffic around. It's not on like a main road or anything. It's quite a bit off the beaten track, but it's a very tidy area for areas around London. You clearly know and tell from the area that no one comes down these roads or into this area unless they're meant to be in this area, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you come across this huge building. It's multiple football fields long, and it takes you about a minute to drive around a section of it. And then you pull into a gated area, which seems to have a portion of the building that jettisons out into it. And you're pulling into this area. And yeah, it's very obvious this is kinetics. There, as soon as you pull into these gates, there's checkpoints that you pull up to. Alex quickly passes over IDs. There is no issues whatsoever. The barriers are lifted. You wave through, and you're presented a large building with the Kinetics logo above it and the initials M.E.F above the door. And then -2.
Unbelievable. We're just walking right into a Kinetics secure location. Not gonna lie, feel a little bit apprehensive, but equally, well, it's quite exciting, isn't it?
Don't forget to put that bracelet on before you get out the car. I suggest your ankle, just in case. And
right, and I pull up the suit or underneath the lab coat, and well, he wouldn't, I guess, be wearing the lab coat yet, but put it on.
Yep. And two things happen the moment you put this on. The first thing is you feel drained. All the energy, the strength, the agility that you would normally have, and you know your vision that's usually perfect, it dims. And you feel powerless. And you don't even need to try. You know that your jumping ability and that it's gone. It's horrible. And then just as you get to grips with that, you feel very quickly this drunken haziness come over you, and suddenly you start getting one hell of a headache. And you just feel crap.
Wow. I also, I guess if I'm feeling drained like that, I would begin to wheeze as I'm breathing. Just kind of this is give me a minute, and I reach into my pocket and I pull out an inhaler, and it's like, I got this isn't great, Alex. This is the opposite of great. This is
I did
a bit
warn
shit,
you.
but
Check in the glove box. There's some pills there for the headache.
and I reach in, just kind of groggy, and grab, pop a couple out the blister and bottle of water.
You're gonna have to really act this one out. Can't suspect them, or can't let them suspect us.
I'll be I'll be great at what I do.
I should warn you, before we go in, the priority number one is getting this kid out at all costs. Even if it means leaving me behind, you get the kid out.
Right.
And if we have opportunity, we have a secondary objective: scout the area, gather intel, and if we can, get a few other mutants out, but not if we jeopardize the first priority.
Understood. Shall we?
Let's go for it.
It must be terrible being normal and open the door and step
And
out.
as you said that, Alex, you can hear a little snigger from Alex as you get out the car, and you head to the main reception building. And as you get to the door, there is a doctor stood at the front doors, stood with his arms crossed, looking down at you.
Just keep my head down, which is surprisingly easy because it's banging.
And just as you get to the bottom of the stairs, Alex turns to you. That's the head of the facility, Dr. Lindemann. Yeah, I was hoping he wasn't going to greet us. And you begin to walk up the stairs to the entrance. Dr. Lindemann. Coming up the stairs, you see two people in your lab coats. And you know from your document that you were sent in the morning that these are the two new starters.
Do I know the names?
Yes. You can make them up if you wish. I haven't actually got genuine names. They are pseudonyms though, so whatever you want.
And you like wait for them to get closer and like look at his watch. And just like better late than never, I suppose. You the new recruits?
Yes. We've been assigned this location. It's a bit further away. Do apologise. Some of the taxis were seemed to be something happening a bit ways into town. But
hope you bear that in mind in future. You're on a tight ship here. It's very important work.
Absolutely.
Much apologies, sir.
Shall we? I don't want to keep you any longer. My name is Ian McLeod.
And
Yes, file.
And as you walk through the front doors following Mr. Lindemann, there is a...
I didn't issue the card.
and as you walk through listening to him, there's a person stood at the front door on the inside. It looks like a young person. You assume is a secretary. And they hand you a map. And like basically a little welcome package, you know, where you're to report to and everything. And this is the map that you are presented with. It's a really dark map.
I look at the map, and I go to Dr. Lindemann. It's like, so, Dr. Lindemann, where are we to be assigned?
It'll be in your package, I believe.
I flick through the rest of the pages. Does it have an itinerary and
That info? I assume they'll have a lab they'll be assigned to in one of the levels.
Yep. So straight away, the front welcome pack says, it says welcome, and then it has the name that you assume is your name, and it says, area sector assigned, red sector.
I flick through the papers, and I say, Dr. Lindemann, there appears to be an omission. There's no health and safety protocols included in this pack. I would have expected them to have had standard operating procedures. You maybe want to have a word with your administrators.
And you've been given plenty. If you need to know more, you'll be told more. Just don't do anything stupid.
I continue to walk.
Can you all see the map?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Right. Okay. Sorry, carry on.
And so, it's like the thing. It's like, so like, I think as well, like on, I guess he's going past because, like, or Dr. McLeod is probably gonna be because you look quite fragile, I imagine. Like you look visibly look hungover.
Yeah, a bit drained.
Like how visible are the problems like he's having?
Croy, roll me a... hang on. I need to sort this out. Roll me Roll me a deception roll, but minus off your actual skills in it, please. Or let me know your skill level in it.
Because I just assume he'll look hungover. Like,
I think I've got
He's just tired.
1.
yeah.
Oh wow, that's a great roll. Like
Yeah,
whatever that
no.
is.
You look at Gem, and he looks dreadful. He literally looks like he's got a hangover.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Just like as they're parting, just because you have that kind of like that last snipe as they go down the corridor away from the reception. Like, will I be escorting them to their labs, or I'm just the meet and greet, and then?
Yeah, you're just basically taking them to the reception desk, and then you'll leave them there.
Yeah, and it's just like I would advise on your future days at work that you do not overindulge the night before. We have very important work to do here, and I want you to take it seriously.
Of course, she had a slight asthma attack. I'll be okay. I've got my inhaler. It won't be a problem. Once I get my strength back, I'll be focused and with you. No problem.
We'll see.
Yep.
As we were.
This reception area you're in, by the way, it's really overwhelming. It's a huge open space. There are DNA structures to the left and right of you. It's a big glass wall that opens up the building. And in the two corners opposite the entrance where you came in, there are these cylinder sort of lifts that shoot up into the roof. And Dr. Lindemann heads over to one of them, and the door opens automatically as he gets near it, and then off it goes. You can't tell which direction it went. The door's shut, but you can pretty much assume as a glimpse as the doors open that they are a sort of lift. So that's the little grey square on the map. So you're in the you are now currently sat in the MEF reception at the top of the map. And you're stood at the desk, and the little receptionist that sat there, she turns to you. Right, that's all your papers in order. I've checked your documents. Bear with me. I will just page the head of the ward that you're going into, and she'll come and collect you. And she picks up the phone, and you can hear it ringing, and then all of a sudden it gets answered. Dr. Stone, your 2 new employees are here. Can you come and collect them? And you can hear a little chatter, and then she puts the phone down. Yes, the doctor's on the way. She'll escort you. If you wait by the doors just behind me, she'll take you down the glass corridor. And behind the reception desk, you see there's this big blast door. And in front of the blast door, it's almost like an airport security thing. And there's a few guards stood here. And there's some metal detectors that are leading towards this big blast door. And she just says, just through the power detectors, if you don't mind. And she'll come through the blast door in a moment.
Yeah, and I glance at Alex, and you can see that I'm visibly struggling. Like, normally Gem would be full of energy, running kind of all manner of angles, and but he's just really struggling with the effect of this bracelet, and the fact that he's had trouble breathing off it, and he starts to just see that again, and he's not able to. And he just begins to breathe a bit, and he starts to stress, and it has a look at Alex, and motions for Alex to go first, and he says, and he puts up his hand and says, you go, I'll just, and he follows Alex as he walks through, and he pulls out his inhaler and just again, because he's really struggling at this point.
Yep. And you do tell when you look at Alex, there's an essence of panic on his face that wasn't there before. And he says, right, I'll see you at the blast doors then. and he heads off to this security area. And he walks through these detectors, and he's on the other side, and he's sat on a little chair waiting, and he's watching you at this point.
Yeah,
And you
I've
can tell
started walking.
he's positioned himself in a brace position, ready for something.
I'm walking up to the doors to join Alex. And I walk towards and put my foot. At that point I summon my strength, got my breath back, and I just walk through, put a foot out, and walk across the threshold.
Yep. And as you do, I forgot to get this ready. Bear with me. And as you do, and these guys are looking at you, heavily armored, ready to go. The moment your foot steps in between the detectors, all of a sudden, red lights start flashing around you, and all the guards turn to look right at you.
I continue walking.
I approach down the corridor.
Yep. As all these alarms going off, the blast doors open up, and right in front of you is Dr. Stone.
Hello! Sandra! Switch it off!
I'm sorry, Dr. Stone. It's the fourth time this morning. We have called the engineers to come and check on it. It seems to be going off on every other person at the moment. Hang on. I've got it. It's a really tricky key to turn.
Sandra, it's deafening! You'll have all the children panicking!
Got it. Sorted. Sorry about that.
Gentlemen, sorry about that. It's a faulty one. It's been playing up all week.
Yeah, no trouble. I've seen them go off before at inopportune moments. And I look over to Alex and
Right. You've come to have a quick look around the red sector, have you? Follow me.
Yep.
And yeah, as you get up, Alex looks at you, and there's sweat on his face, and he looks paler than he was before.
Keep up then.
Yep. And as you go through this blast door, you're led onto a set of stairs that go up into a glass corridor that overlooks. And this is the bit that confused you. It overlooks gyms, and you're traveling down this middle corridor that runs right down. It's suspended in the roof of the gym itself as you're going along, and you look down. No one to be seen or anything.
As you can see, we're a high-class facility, and we have gardens and gyms which are available for the clients and the children to use as and when it's needed. Keep it up now.
And
I'll look at Alex and just like when she's just carry on walking.
Yep. And as you get to essentially the pool, where it says the pool on the map, there's another set of blast doors which Dr. Stone goes up to, swipes a card, and they open up, and then the corridor continue.
No, I don't. I go and put my eye up to it.
Yes, you do. I was testing you, well done. Yeah, so Dr. Stone goes up to this panel, she looks into it, and the doors open up, and you're now onto a bit of the corridor that's overlooking a pool.
This is the pool area, only available to the children. Staff aren't allowed in this section unless they're supervising.
Oh, we didn't have one of these back in in our place, or my last job. Very good.
You're in one of the best sectors now. Keep going.
And as you come to the end of this corridor overlooking this pool, there's another door. And again, the doctor goes up to this panel at the door, looks into it, and it opens up. And this gets you again, because it opens up into a corridor over gyms, and it's almost identical to the one that you've just walked through. If anything, it feels like you're now walking back through the corridor that you've already walked.
Yeah, with Gem's hangover, that's a pretty good description as to how he feels. It kind of offsets him a little bit, and he is a bit surprised about how big the area is.
It's huge. By the time you get down to this junction that turns into the red sector, you've pretty much walked the length of 3 football fields now. So you're already starting to feel a bit overwhelmed by the size of this kinetics facility. And you get to this junction, which has a set of stairs going down through the gym itself, and coming to another set of blast doors, which again the doctor walks up to, pushes her head against it, and the doors open up, and you're now in this ring area that circles the red garden area.
Step in quickly. It's the red zone, remember?
Yep. Standard protocol. And kind of, again, sideways glance to Alex, who seems to be taking it all in, I guess.
Yeah, Alex at this point, most of the sweat's faded off, but he's still looking somewhat pale.
That's two of us.
You look at him and he's kind of just looking everywhere, almost just being very observant at the moment. And every so often he will glance behind himself to check to see what's going on behind.
This is the garden section, which the children are allowed to use on a daily basis for exercise and recreation. As we go through to there, you'll see that the common room's on the left. Behind that will be the science rooms and the IT labs. To the right is the kitchens, the canteens, the libraries. We'll go through now to where all the children are. Are you keeping up? You need to remember all of this.
Yes.
Don't worry. We've got a map here in our welcome pack. I noticed it didn't have any health and safety information about what the evacuation procedures were. What should happen if there's health and safety? Do we have a muster point nearby?
You'll be informed of that at the time when you need it. Right now, don't worry yourself about that. Dr. Lindemann will be in charge of all of that, so we don't question it.
Oh, okay. Just wondered if there's any fire drills planned today.
As we said, Dr. Lindemann's in charge of that, and we don't question it.
Right, you are. And I do my best to look appeased.
Yep.
Follow me through to where the children are. They're all assembled it's this time of day in the common room?
In the common room, yeah. I've just put a token on the map so that you can definitely tell where exactly you should be. So you
might zoom in a bit.
You may have to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully chat should be able to see you on the red circle there. And you go around this garden area. It's this building you're in, Gem. It's very new. It's not an old building. It's almost like you're in a hospital. It's very clinical. The floors are immaculate. This whole garden area that around, the large sections all the way around that are glass walls, and you can see into the garden. And there's like a small tennis court and, benches, swings, like a play area sort of thing. And going all the way around the garden is like a racing track for running as you go around. And the doctor leads you all down into this corridor just past out of the ring and into this double-doored area on the map listed as common room. And as you go through these doors, you're in like a large hall. It's the same size as the gyms that you walk through. They're quite, half the size of the gym, should I say. It's quite sizable. There's in one corner you can see it's all like chairs, sofas, tables. In another area there's like booth sections with computers and games and everything. There's a pool table really far in the back end of the room. There's like beanbag. It's basically just like a big chill out zone, and there's loads of different areas all separated. There's like a bar section in the middle that's just layered with drinks and fruits and stuff. Yeah, it's quite a sight to see, considering that 2 seconds ago you were in this really high-tech facility. It's almost like you're just in a massive play area at the moment.
I
Yep.
suddenly turn round on them and say, "These are children, and this is their home. You're not, when you are here, you are not to stare or single them out unless they choose to. Do you understand me? Their well-being is what we're here for. It's our utmost concern at all point.
Understood.
And
We be kind when we can, but stern, and they have to follow the rules."
And you look around, Gem, and in this large area, you could probably estimate there's about somewhere to 30 to 40 kids, all different age ranges, from about probably 6 or 7 being the youngest, right up until 16 and 17-year-olds, all in this one room.
Yeah, Gem thinks to himself, it's a shame that their parents weren't more wise to keep them away from the clutches of kinetics. But this nods kind of in agreement as Dr. Stone's talking. He just, but he's just imagining this place with all the kids out and the entire facility burning to the ground.
Yep.
Let me introduce you to some of the children. Remember, friendly, helpful, and do not stare.
Understood.
I walk over to the room and I see a young girl sitting on a chair reading a comic.
Yep.
Hello, Lucy. How are you today?
Hello, Dr. Stone. Very well, thank you.
Are we feeling better after yesterday's incident?
Yes, Dr. Stone. I apologise.
That's fine. You know my door is always open. We've got some new staff with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
And this little girl turns to you, Gem, and she bows nicely. And she turns to Alex and bows at him. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My name's Dr. McLeod.
Lucy's one of our more fragile children, though we recently have managed to stop wearing the collar as we've started to get a bit more of a control over our emotions, haven't we, Lucy?
Yes, miss. And the girl looks down at her her toes at this moment. She's definitely upset about something. You can tell, Gem.
Lucy, would you like to tell the gentleman what you can do? It's okay. We're on our own. Dr. Lindeman's not here.
And she holds out her arm to you, Gem. And very slowly, from her fingertips going down to the rest of her arm, she turns to glass. And you can see straight through. You can tell she's there. You can still make out the edges. But it's almost like she's crystal, and the light bounces through her and flickers and splits up into dots everywhere. And this glass transformation moves further and further up her arm. And then quickly comes back again. And she's back with her skin on.
Well done, Lucy.
Good girl, Lucy. Right, will you come and speak to me later and we'll have a chat about yesterday?
Yes, miss. And she,
Uh,
as soon as that is said, she turns around and runs to the other end of the common room.
What happened yesterday, Dr. Stone?
She's very emotional. You got to remember these children are very emotional. She just sometimes that she can change herself and other things into glass. And there was an unfortunate incident with a child and his toe. The child's okay now. He can walk fine without that toe.
Gem just nods. I see. And, you know, in our, just his turmoil is building. His stomach is solidified somewhat. It's not quite as squirming as it was. He's starting to. The kind of anger that he's feeling is overcoming some of the ill effects of his castration as he sees it.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, the hangover doesn't seem to be getting any better at this point.
Yeah, but he definitely, his mind is just adrenaline. He's focused a bit more than he was. He just feels a bit more. But he still, you're right. He's not like you can.
You're starting to question the pills that you took earlier, as your stomach starts to turn as well.
I say, follow me.
Just.
I pass a young lad sitting there, ginger hair. That's Andrew. He's got his collar on because he's unable to control himself in a social environment.
Imagine that. Somebody called Andrew. Unable to control themselves. What's his power? Does he change into monsters, perhaps? A troll, maybe?
Yes, he does.
Oh, this is what happens when you give people creative rights.
He's very naughty. He can be very naughty to other people, and you know he does turn into a very ginger-looking green troll. That's why he's wearing his collar, because he can't control himself, and he just does not know how to behave.
It would upset the other children, I'm sure.
It does upset them.
And as you're talking about this lad, quite well within his earshot, he just looks over his shoulder and looks at you, Dr. Stone, and goes, well, at least I'm not a moaning myrtle.
Again, as you can see, not quite got control of it, hence the collar. He has spent an awful lot of time in isolation, and he doesn't want to go back there, do you, Andrew?
And he turns back around. Gem, as this mutant turned to you and looked, you saw in his face what you feel. You can tell that this kid, he looks hungover. You can tell the collar that's round his neck. He's drained. He looked tired. His energy's gone. He's just sat on the sofa. He's not doing anything. And he kind of just turns his head back, and it's so slow as he moves, you can tell he's just not got that energy.
Speak to you later, Andrew. Be a good boy now. I walk over and I pass a young lad called Danny. Hello, Danny.
Hello, miss.
No, you're not Danny.
Oh, right. Sorry. The actual Danny.
Andrew, we hate you. Go back, you're sitting over there. Muted, by the way.
Yeah. So, Danny.
Muted.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. Don't make people mute.
So Danny, he's one of the taller kids here. He's certainly one of the older kids. You estimate that he's probably around 16 or 17 years old. He's blonde, he's kind of a very pale look to him at the moment, and perhaps some dark rings around his eyes when you see him. And he's kind of standing in this room in front of like a DVD player, and in front of the large TV. There's a crowd of some like 12 to 14-year-olds maybe that are kind of in there as well, and he's kind of standing there in front of them, and he's saying, I just got out of stir, all right? I just got out of stir, so we're going to watch what I want to watch. Put the fucking Great Escape on.
Danny.
Right. Oh. Dr. Stone.
Not the language I want to hear in the common room, thank you very much.
Sorry, Dr. Stone. They won't let me put the Great Escape on.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to some new members of staff. Would you like to come over here, please?
Do I have to?
Yes.
I just got out, miss.
And you don't want to go back in, do you? This is
Hi.
Danny. Danny's been with us for a while. As you can see, he hasn't got his collar on. And we have managed to keep his collar off for quite a while now, though he does end up being in isolation. Not for using his powers, but for losing his temper.
Really, Dr. Stone? Are we going to do that here?
No, we're not. But they're going to work alongside us. They need to know. Danny's a lovely lad. He just gets frustrated sometimes. Danny, you would like to show the gentleman what you can do? Dr. Lindeman's not here at the moment.
I look around, and an evil little smile comes across his face. And he looks across to the kind of the bar area you mentioned, and he drags a cup of coffee across the bar with his mind. It starts to float through the air towards the group. And as it approaches, it kind of comes right up next to Gem in his lovely white coat before it suddenly goes, oh, and tips over all down him. Oops.
Danny, I was going to make the children watch The Great Escape.
It was an accident, miss.
Would I be quick enough to try and...
Can you roll me a
grab it,
D10?
A D10, yeah. Because I'd be watching it as it was moving, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna try and dodge out of this, yeah?
I mean, I watch it, and as it approaches, I look at him, and I kind of, hearing what he's like, and I've got his measure. I can see what he's up, or what he might be up to, and what I try and do is I could really do with a cup of coffee, and what I would really like to do is take the cup of coffee out of the air and drink it.
Right, okay. I will remind you, all of your rolls are nerfed at the moment. So you're rolling them without the actual stat, any ranks. So this will be, this will be a sleight of hand if you're going to try and grab the cup of coffee.
Okay.
So you'll, I don't think you've got any ranks in it, so you can just roll that straight. And you go to grab this cup, and you grab the handle, but the handle does not come with the cup, and this cup goes flying onto it. And because you nudged it, what was going to just pour onto your lab coat splashes into your face.
Oh no, is it hot coffee?
It is. It's not boiling hot. It's about 60 degrees.
Oh.
It's still quite warm. And that's all in your face. And you can feel the handle of the cup, and you hear the smash of the rest of the cup at your feet. And you just feel this coffee pouring down your face, going into your collar. And your eyes are now quite sore from the decaf that's now in your eyes.
Terribly sorry. I'll give him a napkin. and just turn away.
Which doesn't really do the job, does it? Because I'm like totally covered, so I'm just like, yeah, thanks. Okay.
Danny?
I could do with getting cleaned up if you don't mind, Dr. Stone. Is there anywhere I can go?
We'll sort that out after we've done the tour. We can't be late on what we've on the allotted time. Dr. Lindemann will not allow that. We have to do what we do in the allotted time it was given, and you can sort
There's
out.
surely just a toilet. I could do with washing this coffee out my eyes. There's surely a
Dr.
toilet or something.
Lindemann has not given us permission. But we will change your clothes before Dr. Lindemann gets wind of it. And I signal over to one of the a little boy that sat in the corner. Luke,
Yes, miss.
help me clear this mess up before Dr. Lindemann sees it. To this gentleman.
Straight away. And this mutant cry comes running over. And they pick up all the pieces of the mug in their hand, and they take the handle off you, and in their hands they kind of just start glowing, and the cup fixes itself in their hands.
Mm.
And they go and put that on the counter, and they bring over a cloth, and they're wiping the floor down and everything around you. And the kid looks at you. Are your eyes sore?
Yeah, I think you could do it with a little bit quickly before it gets caught on the cameras. Quick.
Yes, ma'am. And the kid puts his hand on your shoulder, and for a brief seconds whilst the hand's on you, Gem, the headache disappears. You still feel drained, but the headache disappears, and you feel this tingling sensation in your eyes. And he lets go, and your eyes feel great again, but the headache very quickly comes back. And the kid walks off.
Thank you, Luke. You're a good lad.
Thanks, Luke. I'm really sorry about that. I don't think I've quite got the hang of that yet.
Just then.
And he's got a little smirk on his face.
Yeah.
He's saying that to you.
Yeah. Just then, all of a sudden, a little musical number starts playing, and it's emanating from Alex. And he quickly pulls out a phone. Now, Dr. Stone, you know something about this facility. This shouldn't be happening. And Alex looks at you and says, do you mind if I just take a phone call? I won't be a second.
Yes, I do. Switch that off right now.
It is an emergency.
I know. If that gets detected, that's on now. And Dr. Switch it off now, quick, before it's detected.
And Alex presses a button on it. And he kind of apologizes. Sorry about that. And he kind of covers up his mouth and everything, and kind of moves ever so slightly away from Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone, you're not paying attention to this. He's turned the phone off as far as you can.
I'm checking the doors now.
And Gem, you're listening in on Alex at this point. You can hear him because the doctor's gone to go and get another rag here. What's wrong? What? What do you mean, dead? Oh. Just get back to the funeral parlour. I'll see you there. I'll be there shortly. And he comes back over to you. Right, sorry about this. I'm going to have to go. Something's gone wrong.
I just look at him and go, how are you gonna get out?
Don't know, I'll have to think of a way to get out. It's not going to be easy, but I do have a spare access pass to get me through the doors. They put my retinas into the system, so I should be able to access any door, so I should be able to get out. I just need to get away from all of this. Right, okay. We need to quickly come up with a plan. I don't want to keep your friends waiting too long.
I go to Ben. I see. Just as I say to Alex, just stay here. And I go over to Ben. I say, "You move bigger things, kid."
Danny.
What?
Can you move big things? Like, can you make things break?
Well, I suppose if you drop things from a greater height, they break, right?
Go on, let's see the biggest thing you can move. Go on, you owe me
Are
one.
you fucking kidding me around
You owe
here?
me one. You poured coffee in my face. Just
Look,
come on, let's.
I just got out of ISO, all right, man. What are you trying to do?
They'll not put you back in. So go on,
They
just
got
let's
fucking
see.
cameras all over the place. What are you talking about? If Lindemann finds out, I'm for it.
Move that. Go move that table over there. Just a bit, an inch.
Look, we're just gonna go watch The Great Escape. Why don't you just come watch The Great Escape with us, man? It's great.
And I look for Dr. Stone.
Is she back?
Dr. Stone is on the way back from the centre kitchen console sort of area with another towel.
I've got a young lad, Ben, helping me carry them.
Yep. He's literally carrying the whole the box of towels in his hands.
Yeah.
I go back over to Alex.
All right. Right.
Alex, we're going to be watching a movie. Just you've got a chance there. We'll sit here. We'll wait for you. They'll not suspect anything. Just slip out when we're watching the movie.
Okay. You stay on mission. I'll go and sort the others out because I don't know what the hell they could have done to cock this one up. Dr. Stone.
Yes.
You're approaching Gem and Alex, who are talking. And you see a particular student just reaching Alex. It's Bobby.
Okay.
You know him as Bobby Go Boom.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
And he's looking at you, Dr. Stone, with a very big grin on his face.
Bobby, no! No! Bobby, no! Bobby!
And Gem, you hear this shouting across the room. And you suddenly realise
Kids!
You suddenly realise, Gem, that there is a mutant stood right behind Alex.
As I shout kids, all the kids dart.
Yeah. As soon as you hear Dr. Stone hear this, all the kids duck and hide behind something.
I hide behind the sofa.
And I shout, I figure something is about to happen, right? Because this is.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just shout, Alex, move.
And as you shout this, Alex turns and he's got his back to you.
Alex, whatever his name is, Doctor, whatever he's called.
Yeah. And he turns and he looks at this kid. And you're stood right behind Alex, Gem, so you don't really see this. But all of a sudden, instantaneously, there is a pop. And blood goes flying everywhere.
What the
And you are shielded with being stood behind Alex, but everywhere around is covered in blood and guts. And as almost moments after it's just happened, and you're looking around, wondering what the hell has just happened, all the blood and guts crawling back across the floor and re-emerging back into this child that was stood there.
And what about the stuff that stained Alex?
Everything is still stained. There is blood on everything. And Alex turns round to you, and he is covered in blood.
Oh, Jesus.
And his face is more pale than it was earlier.
I hand him the cloth that's got coffee all over it.
And
Fuck's sake, Bobby, you prick!
as you hand the coffee, Gem, the door to the common room bursts open. And six or eight men come running in, all dressed in black, carrying rifles, pointing at this kid.
Well, this bit of kid, this congealed child that's...
This child that's reforming. And they grab him. And you see one of the guys pulls out a collar. And in all this commotion, you hear a shout, "It won't work, it's Bobby!"
Oh.
And he puts the collar back.
Oh.
And they drag this kid out. He was laughing his head off as bits of his body re-emerges back into itself.
So is it the same? Is it a physical movement of his bits that are crawling across the floor like?
And as they're dragging him out, there are still like toes and fingers following him out.
Wow. But what's interesting is that the collar didn't work on him, and Gem's like enough awake and laughing kind of at Alex, and he says to Alex, whispers, "Yeah, clean up in aisle 1."
And Alex just says to you, he just exploded.
Dr. Stone, calling Dr. Stone.
I get up from behind the chair. I'm awfully sorry about that.
Look, you got to understand, when we signed up for this, coffee's okay, but my friend here, he needs some fresh air. Do you think that he would just... Listen, he did not expect to have somebody explode right in front of him. He needs... Can he at least get out for some fresh air? I know that Dr. Lindeman's here, but surely he'll understand.
Go through there on the left, there's a toilet. Go and get yourself cleaned up.
Thank you. And slowly, in definite shock, Alex walks out of the common room. And you're stood there, Gem, and you're just stood in an area. There's blood all on the floors and everything. And one of the kids comes over with a mop bucket. It's the 4th time this week.
Yeah. Luke, can you help him?
Should make that prick clear up himself, miss.
At least it was only blood this time. I go over to Dr. McLeod or Ian McLeod. Well, sorry about that. Right, as we were, we'll leave these children here to carry on. We'll walk around and I'll introduce you to more children. Oh, this is Ben here. Introduce yourself, Ben.
Yes, hello, Dr. McLeod. My name is Ben. I think the towels were a little bit of an underkill now, but some of them are still clean. And he'll offer you a mostly clean towel.
Yes, thanks, Ben. I'm Dr. McLeod. It's a pleasure to meet you. This happens a lot, does it?
Oh yes, Bobby is he's difficult. Yes, he likes to cause trouble, but he's away for periods of time in isolation, so we don't have to deal with him, which is quite nice.
Ben's one of our karma children. Very helpful. Very interesting talent, actually. If we just move here just slightly left out of the camera.
Yes, I know where to stand, Doctor. And
Show him what you can do. Show him what you can do.
Okay. Doctor, can you say hello, children, for me?
Hello, children.
No, sorry, not you, Dr. Stone. I meant
Oh.
Dr. McLeod.
I'll look at him quizzically and say, "Hello, children."
All of a sudden, this 15-year-old child metamorphosizes into you and says, "Hello, children."
Say 11.
11! Oh.
Yeah, and Gem, you are looking almost like into a mirror. You are looking at yourself, and it's really weird. You're hearing yourself as well.
Fascinating.
And you look, and he's even mimicked the coffee stains on your shirt and everything.
Thank you, Ben. Quickly change back.
Changes back. Yes, of course. Anything for a demonstration for a new doctor.
So I turn round to Ian and say, as you can see, we have some delightful children here, and some that are troubled, but obviously they're troubled, and I'm here to help them become untroubled. And I just point out and I'll say, that's Rebecca over there, and that's Kimberly, that's Dwayne, and I sort of do a quick thing around the room. There was 29 of us here, and there is a new child over there, Kevin, but he's only been with us a week. Not quite sure what abilities he has.
That's who I'm looking for, right?
Yeah. Apologies. Yeah, I probably. I did send it to you in the pre-notes. You do know that the mutant, the brother of Tom, is called Kevin. Yeah.
Yep.
He hasn't spoken to anyone yet. Very withdrawn. Obviously, being in the red section, as you know, is obviously the section which is the very important and dangerous section. So obviously his abilities we're yet to find out. So
Dr. Stone, I have an idea. As I'm new here, and Kevin, you said, is also new here. Perhaps if I was to approach him, maybe he'd be able to talk to me. Is there anywhere that we can talk?
As he puts this question to you, Dr. Stone, in your arms, you've been carrying your works tablet, and it pings at you. And you glance at it, and across the top is a message from one of your colleagues over in the yellow sector. Lindemann, and it just says, Lindemann finished early with us. He's on his way to you.
Shit. I actually say, shit. And I'll say, children, we need to get cleaned up very quickly. The lovely Dr. Lindemann's on his way. Everybody, action stations, now!
And that is where we will take a little break. So, we'll have a 10-minute break.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we'll be back shortly.
The terrible
Hope you're
Dr.
enjoying.
Lindemann's on his way.
Lindemann is on his way.
Everybody run!
We'll be back in 10 minutes, guys. Go get yourself a drink, go get yourself refreshed, and we will be back as quickly as. See you in a minute. Bye.
Bye!
Danny and I so one, please.
Hello, we're back.
We're back.
Welcome back.
I don't know why I waved.
Yeah, thanks for waving there, Ange. Everyone line up.
It's the thought that counts, right?
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're enjoying it. I hope you've got a nice refreshment for the rest of the episode. Ange, give us a wave.
Such a knob.
Hey. I just gotta go. Before we get going again, just want to give a quick shout out. obviously we have our Discord, which we always invite all of you guys to come in. But we do have a lot of support from other streamers who do TTRPGs. They often pop into the chat, and we always give them a shout out when they're here, when they can. But we do know, obviously, time of the essence, being around the world, they're not always awake when we are, and vice versa. So, yeah, we do have our full list on our Discord if you'd like to follow any of them, but do go check them out. We have our Elven Kari, who streams quite a few different games, but she does still stream a TTRPG. Not sure the dates, but I'm sure Bongmaster in our chat will remind us exactly when she streams TTRPGs. But again, if you're in our Discord, you'll get the notification from us when she does do TTRPGs. Do go check her out. She's always worth the watch. Especially when she gets locked in a bathroom, which was hilarious.
Not for her, it wasn't.
Not for her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Also, Dork Tales, a brilliant bunch of TTRPGers based in America, so they're usually on usually about like in a few hours time sort of thing. Go check them out. They do a massive variety of games, and they're a great bunch to go and watch. Super Wolf Leo, if you like having a big drink, they're the ones to go and check out. And Chaos, you'll
and
probably
singing.
find, yeah, they have a lot of channel redemption points that are worth doing, and are really good troll worthy. So I would highly recommend them. That's where you'll probably find me most times, just building up the points to ruin their games. So go check them out. We will be raiding them if they're going live, because they are doing a 24-hour charity stream starting tonight. So do go check them out if they aren't on when we finish up here. Do go check them out later, because they are doing amazing work for charity, and they are a great bunch of drunken Americans.
Yeah.
And we've also got Trolls, who sometimes comes in here. You'll see him. He does his own Dungeons and Dragons on his own channel. He's our friend on the other direction of the compass, going east, back into Europe. So he's usually on before us, along with Elven. Go check him out as well. He's always doing some amazing TTRPGs. And then a quick shout out to all the other streamers that we have listed. We have Amchu, Keen, obviously, being one of our Discord mods. Yeah. We have Philip J. Fry, who's in America. He often does Dungeons and Dragons, which is always a classic one to play, I suppose. And we have a few others, we shout them all out in our Discord, and we let you know when they're doing specifically TTRPGs. So do come and join our Discord if you'd like to follow any of them. And obviously, our beautiful admins there have spammed their links of the ones that I've mentioned out. Do go check them out. Do go follow them.
Wrong key.
Wrong key. It's KeenKitchen. KeenKitchen. Yeah. Don't go check out that Keen. We can't say anything for him. He's playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, so he's probably nice shite. That's the right KeenKitchen. There you go. You want to go watch that
away
one.
From the shout outs.
Yeah. So do go check them out. Like I said, they're all listed in our Discord. So go check them out. If you need the links, jump in our Discord as well, or scroll up if you can.
There might be someone worth checking out. Some guy that does VR stuff.
Yeah, do go check out. We do have a few people who stream here. Not just tonight as well. We have Lloyd Goes Boom. He has his own channel, and occasionally will play games and videos. Go follow him, because he needs the follow count to get his first emote, and it's going to be an amazing one. Which it'll probably be Bobby Goes Boom at this rate. But go check him out.
I'm
give
just
him
gonna
a follow.
rebrand and redo all the artwork.
Yeah, we've got Croy. I think most of you know Croy. He does a lot of VR games on his channel. Always worth checking out, and spam the bagpipes whilst you're there. Always spam the bagpipes.
Always start a debate about Facebook.
Yeah. And especially once in a while he forgets to put the cooldown back on the bagpipes. Spam it.
As you can see, we go in to support these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've got
done
Mima
Mima.
as well. Mima's not here, but she's usually on after us. She's absolutely amazing and crazy.
Bonkers.
The streams are very random but very entertaining. She's usually on UK midnight time onwards, so if
Last
you're
night,
staying up late and
She
everything.
killed elephant babies with crocodiles. The herd was depleted because crocodiles ate the elephant babies. It was an amazing game to watch.
It's
Wow.
Darwin, mate.
Oh, it was
It's the way of it. It's the way of it.
Lovely.
She joins us for our D&D game on a
She
Saturday.
does.
Next week, Saturday.
And she has it,
Yeah.
and she does drop into the Mutants Masterminds as well.
She does.
So yeah, go check out her Twitch. And unfortunately, the rest of us don't really do anything. Borgat, you don't stream anywhere, do you?
Not myself. I dip in and out in some others, and sometimes on Croy's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark
As you can
and
see,
I'm
we're just this,
Yeah.
this big group of people that all love each other and chat and
Yep.
help each other on Discord, and we're just lovely.
there's
But
also
we're
always
even nicer on our YouTube channel.
we are.
So everybody, to show us how much you love us, just go over to the YouTube and
Show
press
us how
that
much you hate us.
and
by
press
going over and
that little
subscribing to our
thing. The
YouTube.
thumbs up are great,
Yeah,
We like the
maybe for
thumbs
reverse
up.
psychology.
but there's a little subscribe button that doesn't cost you anything. It's really free, so just press it like that
Hey man, it's really free.
and make me happy to do
Yeah.
that. I
So
want to
just-
get to 50 by next week. That's 5 more.
So that was just our shout. Like I said, most of the time we understand that a lot of the people that support us aren't always around because of our timings and everything. So just a brief shout out there for a lot of them. Do go check them out if you can and give them all the love. And we thank you always, guys, for coming and watching us. It's always a pleasure to do these games, as always. And we'll carry on doing them as long as you enjoy watching us cock everything up, basically, really.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking of cocking things up, let's get back to tonight's game, shall we?
Nothing to worry about. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
In control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes Lindemann to kind of straighten things out, get things
Yeah.
back in order.
And put
Yeah.
Danny back in ISO 1.
Yeah, you're stood here, and Dr. Stone has just given this shout to the kid, and all of a sudden, all the kids are quickly tidying the areas up, putting magazines back, cleaning up. There's a bunch of kids who you can tell all have these collars on. There's about 4 of them. They're not helping tidy up or anything. They're just making their way to essentially like an area near you, and they're just stood there. They're kind of leaning on each other for support. They've all got the collars on. You have a good suspicion of exactly why they're not helping and what's going on there. Yeah, and as all the
Has Kevin got a collar on?
you're not quite you're trying to find him in the hospital. Do you want to roll a perception on this?
I will roll.
this will be the first roll of the evening.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Good to know what we've
Hey,
Good to know. Someone's paying
glad you joined
attention.
us then.
I know I had to restart my roll 20, didn't I? Because it
Yeah.
disconnected.
It was a base
First
10.
roll since break time.
It was a
They-
base 10 with whatever pluses you want to give it, but a base 10.
Oh yeah,
Peter.
you did roll earlier.
So yeah,
It would normally be 15. But...
So you do see the child designated Kevin that the doctor pointed out earlier. You do see him. He's kind of in the area where he was anyway, sort of thing. He's just tidying up a few of the controllers where he was and everything, and just putting everything back in its place. But all the kids are lining up in like a half semicircle at the doors to this dorm area, the common room. Almost ready, essentially, from what you can tell, is to greet Miss Dr. Lindemann.
Royalty.
Okay. So I don't do anything at this point. I just walk over to wherever Dr. Stone is.
Yeah, Dr. Stone's kind of positioned herself like in the middle of this semicircle, in front, ready, essentially ready to
I'll
greet.
stand behind her on her left shoulder.
Yep. And all of a sudden, this common room goes deadly silent. You can hear ever so slightly whispers from a few of the kids, and they're just stood waiting. And the doors open up in front of you, and 4 of these guys in the black get-ups with the rifles walk in, and behind them you see Dr. Lindemann following in.
Dr. Lindemann, welcome.
Dr. Stone. What state is the room in at the moment? Is it still basically wrecked?
No, we quickly tidied
no.
it.
There's no
that's what
sign
we did.
of any of the antics that have happened.
Yeah.
But
No, there's a coffee stain.
I was going to say there's one sign. Yeah.
The one thing you do notice, Lindemann, is that there were supposed to be 2 guests with Dr.
Yeah.
Stone.
Where's your friend?
Um,
What do we call him? Doctor.
Dr. Kirk.
Dr. Brown.
Dr. Kirk. Dr. Kirk it is.
Yeah.
Dr. Lindemann, it's okay. We had a little incident with Bobby. Bobby's gone down to isolation, as protocol. And the Dr. Kirk has just had to go and clean himself up. He will be back with us in a few moments.
And our friend over there with the coffee stain. Where
I'm standing
Can we
right
explain
next.
that?
Yes, it's a little bit clumsy. He tripped over when he over the rug, and as he was carrying a coffee. It's fine now. We've sorted it. It's all cleaned up.
Don't say anything at this point.
Probably
But,
not your morning, Mr. McLeod. Go get yourself a new lab coat. You look a mess.
right away, sir. And I look to Dr. Stone.
At this point, Gem, you do suddenly start feeling a bit of ease from on your headache. It's easing up. You're a bit clearer, sort of thing. It's not as painful, but it is still there. But it is definitely a lot clearer.
And I whisper in Dr. Stone's ear, where should I get a new coat?
I radio. Yep. I get on my pad and send a message for someone to bring one.
Yeah, Dr. Stone, you are very well aware that just round the corner from you, just beyond the canteen, there is the staff area with the staff living quarters on the map, where there's usually spare changes of clothing and everything.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get one of my colleagues to bring one. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So that ping goes through, and yeah.
It was basically like a text message going,
Yeah.
shit, lab coat. Here's I clear that off and I'll go. I've just sent you over the morning report, Dr. Lindemann. It should be on your tablet now.
Very good. Very good. Should make sure we check on Dr. Kirk. How long has he been missing?
It's just a matter of minutes. I'll obviously when you're finished here, I'll go and chase him up. Obviously, Bobby had one of his incidences, and it will take a few moments to clear up.
I understand. I'll go talk to Bobby myself. See if we can dissuade him from further outbursts.
Dr. Lindemann, it was just Bobby being silly. It's a new face. It was nothing serious or bad. It literally was just he was just playing a joke.
It's fine. It'll be taken care of. It's not your concern.
It really was just Bobby being silly. He was just playing a joke. And I looked down at my feet.
Yeah.
and Gem, it's quite interesting because so far up until now, Dr. Stone's been very strict with you, but you genuinely feel like she's worried at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm kind of taking notes mentally. trying to focus as best I can on what the good doctor is saying. Just in case he suddenly says something to me, and I'm just watching him.
Yeah.
Wait,
I think he's
also
kind of.
wonder-
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of dress you down. I don't know what else. He'll probably say to you. I don't know, but
Dr. McLeod said he might try and see if he can get the new lad Kevin to talk today. We thought we'd give that a go.
well, hopefully you can help redeem his progress so far.
Yeah, any news on his records? We still haven't had his records through.
That should have been sent over. I'll go double check.
Oh.
Pull up his tablet and then fire off a message. Chase someone up to send it over.
Yep.
That should be over in a few minutes. Let me know. if it's late.
At this moment, Dr. Lindemann, one of the guards turns to you. There's been an incident in the holding cells below. Bobby's exploded again.
Let's go take care of it.
I get a read on Linderman. Does he seem every part of the corporate stooge that he is?
Oh, he
That's
fits. Yeah, he fits the bill of kinetics. He's stone cold.
All right.
He doesn't look tired or anything, but the expression of his face is just emotionless.
Mm.
And he's dressed to perfection. There's you wouldn't even see a hair out of place with him. Even the way he walks, it's almost as if he walks in a specific footpath. He doesn't as if every footstep is planned.
Mm. Mm.
And the guards and Dr. Lindemann turn round and they leave the common room. And as soon as the doors close, you feel the atmosphere just fade back. And the kids almost straight away turn round and go back to whatever they were doing. And the noise in this common room slowly starts to come back to what it was.
What a prick.
Danny.
Sorry, miss.
And I go to Dr. Stone and say, is he right? I mean, what Danny just said. Is that his usual? Does he not care for these?
He has a job.
children?
He has a job to do, and I'm like looking around at the cameras. He's a job to do, and he's very efficient at his job. And I start to walk away to a certain area.
It's at this
All right.
point, Gemmy, you see where she's looked, and you look up and you see there is a camera on the wall.
Yeah.
Look in this area, and you very quickly notice as you scan around the room there are several cameras in this area, all looking down on this.
Mm-hmm. And I walk over to where she's standing, because I walk over with her to say, I said, what does he do? What will he do to
I don't know.
Explodey kid?
I don't know. It's downstairs in the isolation area, and I've never been to the isolation area. But the children have told me, in their own words, it's not a good place. So we do everything we can to keep them calm and happy, so that they are not taken to the isolation area.
And what will happen to the new kid if he doesn't?
He'll go to the isolation area. In between that and the test centre.
Yeah, and Gem's not wanting to show his hand or anything, so he just goes, yeah. We need to get him to talk, I guess. Kind of, just sort of, jovially.
Well, we've got today to get him to talk, otherwise they're going to take him straight up to the test centre or down to the isolation.
Huh.
That's why he was here today. Luckily and unfortunately, Bobby going boom again has distracted Dr. Lindemann for a while, but he'll be back because he needs to speak to Kevin.
Let me go and speak with him. A new face. He doesn't know me. Are we allowed to take off our lab coats? Is there?
No.
suppose with Bobby around, that makes sense. And the coffee stain. And at that point, is there a new lab coat being brought in yet?
As you turn around, you see there is a younger doctor stood in the corner holding a lab coat, almost hesitant to actually come into the common room.
Wonder why. I'll walk over. I'll get changed. And I'll go and speak with Kevin. What was his last name? Might be useful. But you said he
I
didn't
haven't
have
had his
files.
records yet. We've not had them. He's only been here a week.
Okay.
I'll pop to my office and see if I can see the paper records have come through.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this lot then.
Just remember that they are young teenagers,
Impressionable. We have to take care. Their best interests are our best interests. Yes, Dr. Stone.
but also remember there is a hormonal balance going on in this room right now, and the slightest thing will trigger them. But I'm sure
Teenagers.
with your
Wasn't that long
training,
ago.
with your training that you've had before you came, you can handle it. I'll only be gone 10 minutes.
I am.
If Dr. Lindemann comes, you stand to attention and you get the kids moving.
Noted. I'm immediately walking over to the person who's standing there hesitantly at the door to take the coat that's offered.
As you take the coat, I leave with the person going, have we had any deliveries today through to the office? I need to know, to the reception. I'm waiting for some files to come. And I just wander off. I'm going to go down to reception and see if anything.
And I walk over towards where Kevin is, keeping a weather eye on these kids, because I don't really want anything to happen to them. Like, these are all lab rats that have been brought in and having to deal with dickhead kinetic stooges. And so, but I'm interested. I've got a job. I've got a cover to go and speak, and I take off my coffee stained lab coat but slowly put on the fresh one. So I have it just in my hand, as if I'm putting it on. If anybody asks, I'm putting it on, but I'm not, and I'm just wearing a suit. And I go over to Kevin. Where is he? What's he doing?
He's sat on one of these sofas in looks like a little coffee shop setup. There's just a load of low sofas and low tables with a few magazine racks around, and there's almost like there's 4 sets of these sofas, and he's on one of them on his own, and there's a couple of other mutants on one of the others, just chatting and generally talking.
So I go and sit next to them. Are the kids that are there close enough to be able to hear what I'm saying when I speak?
No. There's like waist high bookshelves. So as soon as you sit down, you're kind of obscured from the other areas.
Yeah. And I sit down and I'm looking about. Is there any cameras visible from where I am?
Yeah. You straight away you spot there is a camera right above your head, looking down on this whole area.
So I say to him, "Hi, I'm new here. I just joined today."
And this kid, you reckon he's probably only about 13 years old. And he just lowers his magazine and looks over you from the top. You're a mutant.
I was hoping you would say that. Do you know what I can do? Look closely. Don't worry about my white face. Can you see what I can do? I'm here, and I say to him, "Your brother." I give his brother's name. Player has forgotten, character remembers.
Tom,
thank you. Tom. Look at what I can do. You can do that. Get us out now. Think of somewhere that you want to be. We will walk there. Right now.
And now you have a power. How do you know who I am?
I met your brother. I'm talking quietly. I met your brother.
He's a
He
criminal.
was- That I can believe he burns places down, but kinetics aren't the only people who are trying to help people with powers. There's a railroad. We've got facilities, connections. We got him out. We got him away from the things he was doing, and he's getting control of what he can do. He's not
So
there
that
yet.
makes you a criminal? You're one of the bad mutants.
Huh. Yeah, you could say that. I am interested in all of what these people are making young children like you do. I would be very interested to be able to get everyone in here out. But we can't do that with you in here.
Even if I wanted to come with you, your plans failed. You can't leave.
You can. With me. And I I sort of put my I go to just say, Kevin, look, just look into me, look into my eyes, look beyond my eyes, get a grip of what it is. I know you know how to do that. That's why we can get out of here.
You know what I can do, then you should know it won't work unless I can actually see it. I know you've got mutant powers because I can feel something, but I can't control it until usually I see it.
Okay. Knowing that the primary mission is right in front of me.
Yep.
I go to my ankle, I'm sitting down, and say, I'll show you. And I click off. As I'm holding them, I just lift my ankle, click off the device, pick it up, hold it in my hand at the same time, and I say, very quickly, we're going. Watch this. And I try to bathtub to the furthest possible location that I saw when we drove in.
And you take off the bracelet, Gem, and you feel your strength, your power return and everything. When you build yourself up ready to do this jump, there's a problem. And normally you can usually feel the destination, you can see it, and you make that connection. You can't seem to go past the walls of the complex.
Okay.
You can see the whole route that you've walked in from the reception area.
Yep.
But that's it. You can't see beyond the building.
What I do is instead I just look and I move us both a fraction of a millimeter from where we're sitting, just across, just ever so slightly, like we just skip.
Yep.
So that he can see what it is that I can do.
And as you do that, Kem, you hear, Dr. McLeod to office 2. Dr. McLeod, office 2. There's no urgency, no one's looking around at you. And the kid in front of you, he kind of nods. You better go and see that. Or they'll be running in any second if you don't answer.
And I say to the kid, I said, you know what I can do? Next time, have a think about what I can do. We can make sure that you don't have to take what's going to happen here. You get a choice. You get to decide.
As you say
And
this,
I put it back on my ankle.
yep. And you, the moment it touches your skin again, you feel the drain and the headache come on and everything. As you do though, roll me a perception normal with your power bonus.
25 crit success.
Just as you click this bracelet on, in the corner of your eye, just peeking their head over the bookshelf, you see Ben, the changing mutant that you were introduced, staring at you. And he runs off.
I get up and walk to office 2.
Yep. So using your map, you very easily navigate your way to office 2. And as you get to the door for this office, it says on the door, Dr. Stone.
Knock on the door.
Come in.
And you step through this door, and you're in a sizable office. Yeah. There's, on one side there's this glass desk that you see the doctors sat at with, multiple monitors. There's a therapy couch, multiple chairs, a coffee table. There's even some beanbags in the corner. And you look over at the doctor, who is holding a file in her hand. You only can assume that this is Kevin's file.
Ah!
Dr. Stone, you
Oh.
called for me? I think the children are left unattended at the moment. Would perhaps you like to, are they okay? Do we leave them unattended?
Quite often, Dr. Stone, yeah, these kids are left unattended. You know that they're being watched anyway.
Yeah.
I have an inkling as to Kevin's ability, but it looks like you've beaten me to it. You have something in your hand. Is that his file?
Yes, it is. There's a lot of it's been redacted, but there's quite a bit of information in here.
Can I read it?
Yes. Pass it over to him.
What does it say?
And she passes you this file, Gam. And you open it up. And the first thing that catches your eye is on the front of this report, there's a picture of him. But it's not been taken by a camera. It's a painting of him that's been captured by a camera. So you're looking at a camera picture of a painting of Kevin. And on the photograph itself, it's been dated a year ago.
What does the text say?
You will look through the file and you can confirm, that this is Kevin. You definitely got the right Kevin. And in the section of powers, it says untested. And there's a section about that he's spent he spent about a month in the blue sector because they assumed he didn't have any powers. But there's a note from Lindemann saying further testing required. Send to red sector.
So he's to be tested then. When's this going to take place?
Oh, it'll be today, later today or early tomorrow. That's why he was coming today.
Interesting. Can we talk freely in this office, Dr. Stone?
Yes, no one comes into this office normally.
Is there any cameras when I look around?
No.
Sorry. Yeah, you don't see any cameras anywhere in this office as you're looking around.
What do you think of this place, Dr. Stone? Are they fair on the children? Do they look after them? Do they actually care for the children? I know you do. That's clear. I'm still feeling a bit groggy.
Some of us do the best we can for them. If we don't, somebody else, we will be replaced by somebody that doesn't. So we do the best we can.
Aye. Well, that's sometimes all that we can do for those that are around us. What happens to them when they grow up? There's no kid in there older than 16. What happens? Where do they go?
They either are no use to them and they just go, or they are trained and sent to Facility 19.
Does Gam know what Facility 19 is?
No. This doesn't ring any bells whatsoever for him.
So I just nod and go, okay. What's your take on that? Is that a good life for the kids?
Facility 19? I know as much about Facility 19 as I know about what's in the basement and what's on floor 3.
Gem, you recall when you drove up to this building, there was no windows on the ground floor, which you very quickly confirmed whilst you've been in here. But you did spot that there were 2 more floors above the first floor, so this makes sense that it's a 3-story building, and yet everything you've seen so far, and you've only been given a map to floor 1.
Will our tour include anything else in the building?
No. You need to stop asking the questions.
No, I understand. And I say, well, I better get back to them, right?
It's at this point, Dr. Stone, on your iPad, a warning comes up. It's your schedule, and it comes up saying privileged garden time at time, like a reminder that it's the garden time.
I'm just going to take the children out to garden time. The children's records are here if you want to have a quick look. Join me in a few moments.
Thank you very much.
And I wander off.
And the doctor leaves. And you're sat in this office for a few minutes, again, looking at these files. As you're getting ready to leave, having perused the files as much as you wanted, as you turn to the door, you notice on the wall, hidden behind the door, you didn't see this when you came in, but on the wall there's 6 or 7 pictures of kids. But it's the pictures that were very similar to in the file that you got for Kevin. It's these painted pictures of the kids. And
they all look accurate. There's one of Danny.
They're very detailed, and you look at them and you see at the bottom again they've been dated, and some of these are quite a while old now. They're 5-6 years old, the dates that are written on them. And one of them you recognise. as one of the kids in the hall. You weren't introduced, but you're vaguely sure that you definitely saw this kid whilst you were looking round.
Hmm.
He was the one that helped the doctor clean up the mess and everything.
Hmm. Is there anything in the files that I'm reading that are explicit about powers that kids have?
Are you looking in multiple files or just
Yeah,
Kevin's?
No, I'm scanning through the files.
Okay. Roll me a perception.
Eight.
Okay.
Or whatever bonuses I'm getting, but 8 base.
So, as you're going through this file, a lot of them have, they all have the same sort of schedule, and they list powers and basic information. There is something that does catch your eye, though, and it's two things. On the front cover of each of the Mutants, there's 2 stamps that are stamped on the main page. One of the stamp that you've come across has permanent collar. So it's just the words permanent collar that's been stamped on. And the other one that you've come across is no garden access.
Okay.
And you look and you spend a few more minutes on this, and the ones that all say must have, permanent collar, there's notes about the fact that they can't control their powers, or their powers are like they're able to one of them can phase shift through walls.
Which one's that?
Is a mutant called John.
I take note of that one.
And in the front of each file, there's this picture, so you quickly look at it and you can see it. And you spend a couple more minutes, and you also come across all the ones that say no garden access, are all the ones that are able to fly.
Hmm. So yeah, that's good. The garden's probably got sky access, which is great. Excellent.
And at this point, you've been in this office now for about 10 minutes. What do you want to do?
I am going to get back into the common room and see if Kevin is still there, and if he's got garden access, and I'm going to go. And if he is in the garden, I'm going to go out to him and speak to him.
Yep. And you do recall looking at Kevin's phone, there weren't any of the 2 stamps on. And as you get to the common room first, and you duck in, and surely enough, the kids that had the no garden access are all sat in the common room still.
So I go to one of the kids.
Yep.
That can fly, and I just say, "Why are you not allowed out into the garden?"
They don't trust me.
What's up there? Have you seen it?
The garden? You can see it from the corridors. There's no roof. I can fly. They're worried that I'm just going to fly on out. Surely.
Would you like to do that?
No. I've heard the moment any mutant does, you'll be blasted by the rooftop cannons. It's at this point, Gem, as you'll start talking to this, you notice that Danny, the mutant who threw the coffee on you, is stood not too far staring at you, with a grin on his face.
I look at him and say, "So I don't want another coffee, Danny, but get one for yourself if you're thirsty."
Oh, cheers for not ratting me out, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm new here. I need to get a sense of things. I walk over to him, leaving the flyboy just sitting there ruminating on being blasted out of the sky by an aircraft fire from the roof.
Yep.
Cheery place. And I say, Danny, so why are you not allowed out into the garden?
I can levitate things.
Can you levitate yourself?
I guess, if I wanted.
Would you get out of here if you could?
Why are you asking?
Like I said, I'm new here. I'm just trying to understand why there's those kids out there having a nice time in the daylight, and there's you lot stuck in here with these lamps blaring down on you.
Yeah. Look. This place is all I've ever known.
How long have you been here?
What's it now? Maybe... What? 14 years, maybe?
What are they going to do with you, Danny? Do you know? You behaving yourself? You being a model citizen? Sounds like you get in trouble. Do you like causing trouble?
I don't mean anything by it, right? They ask for it sometimes, don't they? Lindemann, you know, he's got a serious weed up his ass, you know?
I just kind of smile. Dr. Stone wouldn't like you saying that, would she?
No, but Dr. Stone, she's all right.
Yeah? That's good to know. Looks like I've found a good team to work with. Looking after you guys.
Yeah, what? Why are you so interested in the garden?
Well, I'm just about to go out there, aren't I? And I walk off.
As you turn, Gem, you're looking at the doors out of the common room. And stood at the doors, looking right at you with their arms crossed, is Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And he's smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Almost chuckling to himself.
At least it's not Bobby.
Yeah, this is double.
You want to watch him, Doc? He's a slimy prick, that one.
Wank, wank, wank. Good guy. Wank, wank. Yeah, all right. Thanks very much.
And as you move towards the doors open up behind Ben. And there are 4 guards coming in with their rifles.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm cool as a cucumber. Partly because I'm feeling cool as a cucumber, because I'm not feeling very good.
And you see Ben raise his finger and point right at you.
Mm-hmm.
He's that one there.
And I say, and I look behind me, and look at that, and I say, good afternoon, Ben, is it? Gents? Has he been causing trouble? I say to the guards.
That's McLeod.
That's McLeod, but yeah.
McLeod. Care to come with us? Mr. Lindemann would like you to see the basement.
I was just going to go and speak with Dr. Stone, actually. I've got some very important information to tell her about one of our...
Dr. McLeod, have you ever watched The Great Escape?
A good film. You should watch it. The ending.
My favourite film. But the ending. You never see Danny, Willie or Sedgwick escape.
Well, that's the mystery, isn't it? You got to think about that for yourself, don't you? And I walk.
Don't worry, chat. If you don't get those references because you not watched the film, I also have not watched that film and don't get those references. So don't worry, you're not alone. Carry on.
I have to drop something in here then.
I have a feeling what you're referencing.
Yeah, okay.
And I look. Can I see Dr. Stone in the garden?
From the common room, there are no windows. You cannot see the garden, but you know exactly where it is. You walk past it on your way in.
And I'll say, look, I need to just give Dr. Stone some information about our new guest, and it's absolutely imperative that I do so. It's fundamental to the tests that are going to be done in a short while. I don't think you would want Dr. Lindemann to miss out on this opportunity. So if you don't mind, and I try to walk past them.
As you even step a foot towards them, they raise their guns at you. Dr. Lindemann said you were to come immediately, no questions asked. You can come in 1 or 2 pieces. We would prefer the difficult option. We don't really get much fun with the kids.
You like pointing guns at small children, do you? Walking about, parading. All right then. Lead on, McFly.
And one of them turns round and beckons you to follow them, and the other 2 will follow him behind you. And you come onto the corridor, and you can see to the right. You can see the garden down the corridor. The doors are wide open, and you could just see through the doors, the outside. And they turn left, going away from the gardens.
And as I turn round, and do I see Dr. Stone?
Roll perception.
Whatever that is.
No.
11.
You assume Dr. Stone is in the garden, but it's a small door. It's quite down the corridor. You could only make out 1 or 2 mutants.
Yeah, so I just shout out, Dr. Stone, you didn't tell me that the tour included the basement. And I just shout that out very loudly.
Do I hear it?
No. You're somewhere in the middle of the garden. Like I said, the garden's about half the size of a football field. It's down a corridor. It's Danny would hear it from in the common room. Yeah, he's probably come towards the door entrance. Yeah, you can hear the shout from behind.
Yeah, I mean, he would have seen the guys with the guns, wouldn't he? So
yeah,
he's followed. And can he see the guards and Dr. McLeod?
He could just see the back tail of them. He gets to the door. He basically, if you're on the map, just to the left, coming out of the common room, I'll put the move your little game marker. You're at this junction. At this junction, there is a lift, which they are stood at.
Does Danny have to see something to be able to manipulate it?
Precisely, yes. In general, no.
He wants to stop the lift.
Okay. Well, Danny has been a troublemaker in this facility for quite a while. That is something that Danny would very easily be. You know exactly where the lifts are, so you can pinpoint it. You could easily jam that up.
Okay. So he runs down the corridor towards Gem, or to Dr. McLeod. And as he's doing that, he's concentrating on stopping the lift from whether it's coming up or down. He wants to stop it before it reaches this floor.
And Gem, you're stood at this lift with the 2 guys behind you, 1 in front. And from the door of the lift, you suddenly hear this screeching noise. And it doesn't sound good.
Sorry, gents. I'll tell you what. Let me just go back. I'll speak to Dr. Stone. You go and sort out the lift. and I'll follow you right back. You come with me if you want. It's fine. I don't mind, but we can't go in that lift.
And you feel one of the rifles get pushed up at your back.
Oh, I'm getting really fucking pissed off at this point.
You
but I'm
don't
trying.
move.
I'm trying very hard.
Can I ask a question? Does the alarm go off when Danny uses his power?
There's no alarm going off. Danny's quite subtle with his powers unless he's manipulating a lot of items. So at the moment he's just run into the corridor and he's just like his eyebrows raised ever so slightly. But there's no alarm going off yet.
Bennett's going to appear behind Danny and just say, Danny, you wouldn't want the bulldogs to come for you again, would you? And I'll put a whistle in my mouth and just smile.
And I think Danny, at that point, he's going to try to snatch the guns out of the guard's hands
while ramming the whistle into Ben's throat.
Dr. Stone! Compose yourself!
Dr. Stone!
And he turns around to Danny and says, I'm Hills. Which is another Great Escape reference if anybody's interested.
Gonna have to go watch it now. Yeah, you can very easily, Danny, you could easily pull these weapons out of their hands.
Okay,
but
and
the moment you do this, they know who's on this ward. They know what's going on.
And that's why he does it, and that's why he turns to Ben and says, I'm Hills.
I don't know what that means. Woo!
Yeah. Well, you should watch The Great Escape, you prick.
Yeah. Do I hear him
say that? We're allowed.
Does Gem hear him say that?
Yeah, you're not. You're only about 30 meters away, so you
see the guns.
do hear this. You see the guns shoot down the corridor, right down the way. That them.
As soon as that happens, I hear it. I turn around. I look at Danny and I give him a wink, and I just walk away from the guards. I'll go and have a word with Dr. Stone now, will I?
One of the guards runs instantaneously at the guns. One of the guards grabs your shoulders, the one that you were following. He's grabbed you, and the other guard is now running right at Danny. And you hear, this is a really quiet place. The lift that you were here in the home, you start hearing pings going off up and down the corridors. You can hear multiple lifts around you moving.
Yeah, so at that point, I bring my ankle up, and I grab the little circlet around my ankle, and the guys, I try and push him off with one hand, just say, "Hey mate, just look, I'm going to see your doctor," and I grab this with my other hand.
Yeah, this guard, he didn't have a firm grip of you. He was kind of expecting you to dart left and right sort of thing, or run away. He wasn't quite expecting you to just drop down to your ankle. And you just about managed to grab your bracelet off when you feel his hands reconnect with you as he's trying to grab you again.
But at this point, I've got down and I've got the. It's in my hand, and I just click the release catch, and
as it comes off, you feel your strength and your power come back. And this is the strange thing. Before, when you tried to teleport, you pretty much could trace out your path where you'd been and everything, and anywhere in the facility, but you couldn't go outside the walls or anything. But all of a sudden, you feel a weird haze in front of you when you're looking at the garden, because before you couldn't see the garden either. But you look down this corridor, and with the garden doors open, you can now sense the garden area. And the more you concentrate, you start feeling the world outside via this garden.
Yeah. So I stand up. I'm observing where the guard going for the gun is. I shoulder barge the one that's trying to hold me, to just try and off balance him.
Yep.
And basically I shout to Danny, follow me. Good. I said, good move, kid. Follow me.
You shove
we're
the
about to
guard
find
off.
out what happens.
You shove the guard off that was behind you, and he falls to the floor. But there is a guard in between you and Danny, charging at Danny at full pelt.
Danny, all right. So Danny,
Yeah.
Okay. Danny.
Danny, you do see this guard coming right at you, and you just catch Gem shrugging off one of the guards behind him, and he goes down to the floor, sort of thing.
That's when I bring the guns back.
Okay. Where are you bringing them back to?
To their owners. Very quickly.
The guards?
Yes.
Oh, right. Not into their hands. Okay.
No.
And... yeah. And
Just
Gem...
like my gun's back.
And Gem... As you shrug this guard off and he falls to the floor and he looks up, you just give him a quick glance, and all of a sudden this rifle smashes into his head. And
Excellent.
as you look forward, a rifle whizzes past your face, turns on the corner, and pelts into the back of the other guard that's running at Danny, and he goes completely out on the floor.
Brilliant. So yeah, I kind of look up at Danny, and I'm like, I said, oh, Blythe's not blind when he's with me, and he's coming with me. And I smile at him.
It's at
Hoping
this
he gets it.
point, the moment that those guns went flying, the alarm starts going off around you again.
Yep.
The lights in
But
the corridors go red. You start seeing blast doors coming down on certain corridors.
Are we able? Can I see? We clear the guards now, right?
There's no current guards around you,
Right.
but you do see a shutter coming down on the garden door.
And I say, Danny, can you stop that shutter? And I shout, quick, we need to get out now. We're going. You're coming with me? Let's go.
And Danny obliges if he can. Whether he has the power to stop this shutter, I don't know. He might be able to slow it down.
You'll definitely be able to slow it down a little bit, but you are not going to be able to shut this shutter. You've tried this before, Danny.
Okay. And so as he kind of shuts as the door is kind of coming down, he kind of uses his telekinesis to hold the door up, and he kind of looks at Dr. McLeod, and he just kind of says, "I'm Hills."
No, you're not. You're coming with me. Let's go.
And as you look at him, Gem, you do notice there is a trickle of blood coming from his nose. He's definitely overextended himself here.
Yeah. We'll get you sorted. We've got people, but we need to take one more. We need a new guy. Come.
Right, we'll just go get him. Go get him.
And I just look. I'm not wasting any time because I want to get in the garden. If he's not, if he's not coming, he's not coming. And I'm legging it. In fact, I'm not just legging it. I'm bathtubing to the garden.
Yeah.
So I can get underneath the. Into the garden. I can see.
You teleport straight into this garden area, and the alarms are going off out here. And you see Dr. Stone is gathering all the kids at one side of the garden, lining them all up on the wall, telling them not to move, and to crouch down and be quiet.
I can see Kevin.
You pick up Kevin. Yeah, he's amongst the line. He's crouched down.
I walk straight over to where Kevin is, and I grab him, ignoring the noise or whatever, and I say to Kevin, this is it. We're going now. We'll see your brother. You can tell him what an arse he is.
What
You know
about
how this
everyone
works.
else?
We'll get them. We'll be back. Don't you worry. But we have to get you out. You're important. That's why you're here. That's why you're going to get tested. Are you ready?
And it's at this point, Dr. Stone, you see Gem talking to this lad. And the lad stands up, and they grab hands, and they disappear in front of your eyes.
You left Danny! Sorry.
And that is the end of that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Danny's
gonna
going
go
to the
great.
basement.
You know when
Oh,
you were
yeah.
talking to Danny, Ben was still in the corridor and heard everything you said.
I was kind of wishing that in the hubbub that Ben had transformed into Alex, and they just left with this like version of Alex. I can't do anything
Yeah.
super powery. Just like, why is it not working? I don't know.
And Gab, you teleport out. Alex told you the rendezvous, and you go there. It's a few hours. You stood there, and eventually Alex comes back, still covered in blood. And he just, you get in the car, you go. He drops you back off wherever you want, and he leaves you. He tells you he'll contact you later. He needs to get Kevin to a safe place. And you get back to your own apartment, and you sit down on the couch. You turn on the TV,
Oh
and
no.
it's on the news.
Oh no.
And there's an incident going on
Oh no.
on the M6. M4, sorry.
Yeah.
M4, and it's a news helicopter that's doing a live broadcast, and it's above a field where there's loads of people running, screaming for help, and you do look at all these people, and one of them catches your eyes. You're sure
Blue,
it's
by any
Weeping
chance?
Widow.
Oh, it's Weeping Widow, and I'm looking at the
running,
crowd running.
amongst the people, screaming,
She's running in
and
the crowd. Yep.
and the camera pans up to the motorway, and you see this explosion of fire and chaos and carnage, and then all of a
Yep.
sudden the picture freezes, and after about 4 seconds of this still picture, it goes back to the news desk, and sorry about that. We seem to have the transmission seems to have frozen. We'll be back to you as quickly as possible regarding the mutant attack on the M4 as soon as possible. After these commercials.
Yeah, and I just quickly, I just zip bathtub across to the fridge, open the fridge, grab a beer, open it, and then zip back to telly, sit down, put my feet up on the coffee table, and raise a glass, raise my ball up to the telly, and go, nice one, Widow, nice one, Pangolin, good one, guys.
And yeah, that is the end of episode 4. Yeah, bit of a short one, guys. It was only a little brief one. But yeah.
No. I'm
to
just get this out. We need to go back and rescue Danny.
We do, and we will. We'll rescue.
I mean,
we'll bring the place
I
down.
will question
We'll
why
bring-
someone didn't just take Danny with him.
I mean, that there's also someone else you forgot. Just saying.
Who's that? Ben?
Your friend you went in the building with, remember?
Alex got
Alex.
out.
Alex got
Alex
out.
got out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't-
He got
yeah,
out.
He knew what he got his
Yeah, he
reason
knew
to
what
escape by going to the toilet. So
He never
he
went
had
to the
passes
toilets.
and got out because in a previous episode he appeared back covered in blood, so we know he'd got out.
Yeah, you know he got out safely and everything.
If you captured him, you would have caused the time paradox.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So that was it. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back with Mutants Mastermind in 2 weeks for episode 5, which will be a bit beefier because everyone will be back with their mutants. So stay tuned for that one. Coming up on Friday is Blade. No, it's not Blades of Dark. Is it Blades of Dark? What's
Yeah,
on
it
next
is,
Friday?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's Blades in the Dark next Friday. And then we've got our Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday. We are back tomorrow. Q&A.
Q&A.
Yeah, we're
we're
really
doing that.
organised, guys. You know us. We're back tomorrow with a Q&A. It may be at 8 o'clock start. It may be normal time 9, but it's usually only hour. We'll let you know in the Discord. So as always, get on the Discord if you want to keep up to date with that. We'll let you know exactly when that's happening. But it will be here, and it will be. Follow us, and you'll get the notification. Do that; it's easier. Yeah. Hope you've enjoyed it.
No, I'm devastated about leaving Danny behind.
Poor Danny.
Danny's institutionalized.
I think
Danny's hits.
I think Dr. Stone's more worried about Danny because she probably knows what's happening to Danny.
Yeah, look, everyone.
I think Dr. Stone's going to worry about her
Cool.
review coming up in about 2 hours' time. When they go
Yeah.
over this
Yeah.
The chaps are very concerned about Danny.
Yeah, Gem chose to leave him.
Gem,
That was a
you
deliberate
bastard.
choice. That was a
Gem
deliberate
did
choice.
choose to leave him. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
we-
committed to that, like, was it
Justice
the Great
for
Escape thing.
Yeah.
It could have been one of the other guys, but no, we left you to die.
It's the only
We'll
movie
see.
he ever watches.
Yeah.
We don't know why it was
I'm
sanctioned.
surprised there's actually a teenager who's watched The Great Escape.
Yeah.
They live in a prison. They don't
Dreams
allow
in
him to
it.
watch too much. And they edit all the ending out. That's why he didn't know what happened to Danny, William, and Sedgwick. He didn't see them escape ever because they've edited that bit out.
Everybody needs to go and watch Great Escape now.
Yeah.
I think it would
well,
be
no.
easier just to have an escape film in,
Yeah.
in like a safe institute.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Great Escape, be like me. I'm probably gonna go watch it just so I know that reference.
You
And
should watch
I
the
can
Great
I mean,
Escape. It's just fucking amazing. What are you
Yeah, but
talking
you said, that
about?
about you said that about the Pile of Purple.
And the Great Escape is amazing.
Ben did everything wrong.
Ben's a good boy.
Ben's a slime.
Yeah, Ben's a
Oh,
good boy.
wow.
He's a very good
Ben,
boy. He does
Ben
like
objectively did the right thing.
Yeah.
You bet- yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Linden.
He also didn't leave anyone else behind to die.
All we know is Ben's definitely going to be there when you next come back.
Yeah.
Or maybe
we
you
always
won't be.
know
Maybe you'll
Ben
find
survived.
out.
But both get how to play two characters at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you've already seen The Great Escape and you're not going to go and watch that now, stick around. We will be raiding someone as soon as we've gone. Thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you
Thanks, everybody.
tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.